What's up guys, it is the last day to get entered for a chance to win the JZX100 Chaser and $10,000 cash and 2 runner-up prizes of BC Racing Coilovers. We're gonna take it on its first drive, but first, the very important Ganador needs to be installed. I was thinking about this. I could probably keep these in my collection and not put them on, and since most of you guys already entered with the stock mirrors, it'd be interesting to see like if there was a direct correlation between me putting Ganadors on the car and then entries go woo! But yeah, I'm gonna do that and then other things today. Pretty sad because those Ganadors that I'm putting in this car were saved for my car over in Japan. So that car is never going to get Ganador again. I also had Randy re-clear the interior trim. If you guys know JZX100s, they have a tendency to fail, but you can sand off the old clear and put new clear on it. That way the interior looks nice and fresh. No one wants peel and clear coat on their interior trim. I'm gonna take it on a little maiden drive around the compound, see how the power feels, and let you guys hear what this thing sounds like. I'm super excited. I've only driven on the dyno so far. Even though I know what it's gonna feel like because it's basically a copy of my yellow car, it's gonna be good. Actually, I did just remember the gearing on this car is gonna be slightly different. I think this car is gonna have longer gearing since this has the manual ratio rear end. Does it though? Ignore that. All right guys, maiden voyage. Now mind you, it is on ethanol right now, so she's gonna be in the spicy setting. I put the same limiter that I have in my yellow Chaser. It's pretty aggressive, but it sounds pretty sick. Let her warm up for a minute. Things sound sick. All the turbo noise. All right, initial impressions. Feels like a normal car. Day label? Yep. I'm trying to hear some flutter though. Let's hear some flutter. It's so good. I'm always torn about external gates, but on JZs, they sound so good. Got some good get. Go. Pretty linear, actually. I feel like I have the boosts very similar on my yellow Chaser. Alright, one thing that's always important to me is transfer. So let's see how easy this is staying in boost on the shift with this setup. Pretty instantaneous. It's quiet in the car too. Oh, turtle alert. That's crazy. Good big turtle here. Now this is probably one of the quietest cars I've ever built because it has 2 mufflers. I just left the stock muffler system that's on the car. So it's pretty quiet if you're cruising around, you know, you're going to a girlfriend's house late at night, then you roll the windows down, you drop her in first, give a little sauce and you hear the external gate. And then you get a text from her parents that's like, yo, chill the f out. You're gonna make the neighbors mad. I'll give you guys a little POV of what this thing feels like. Now I've seen some people ask me to drift this car, and although it could drift, I'm worried with how low it is that it might rip the body kit off. And I also don't want to drift someone else's future car, but if you win it and want me to drift it, I can. Power slides I'm okay with though. Burnout Chasers make pretty good track cars. They're a lot of fun in the mountains if you put them on good tires. Gets down. And then we run out of room. Need more road. So good. Good fun, good fun. Stops well too. This is your last reminder in this entire video forever to get entered for a chance to win this car. We got a bunch of new stuff on the site, some stuff selling out, and if you are the person that wins it, I may request you to do a burnout, so I'm gonna make sure I can do a nice fat smoky burnout in hopes that you can too. All right guys, this is something I'm super excited about. I've been talking about it since we got the compound, and I'm gonna be completely honest and 100% transparent with you guys. This Chaser giveaway has done amazing. I can't thank you guys enough for the support. I'm excited for whoever wins the car and for the opportunities it's opening up for us. One of which I've wanted to do forever, and that's add more concrete. So what you're looking at right here, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this line. We have the burnout pad right here, and then we've got all this weird grass section, which makes it really inconvenient for truck drivers because they gotta go around and it's kind of weird, and all this extra real estate that could be used to link corners and such. So I drew a line down it, and the plan is to extend this whole entire pad. We just walked the property with the concrete guy today. He's super excited. We're gonna be adding a lot of concrete in a lot of different places, but this is the biggest pad. This tree, as beautiful as it is gonna come out, and it's also gonna open up a pretty long straightaway from here all the way to the building. So if we need to do test hits or whatever, we have a little bit more space than our small burnout pad. But I'm excited because it's gonna open up the ability to be able to enter deep into this pocket, to be able to come out of here, and it's also going to get rid of this danger zone. So if we're coming through with the CRX or whatever, and if we're making a right-hander from this direction, you won't kind of have that tree in your runoff area. Also gonna add like a little concrete section here. There's a lot of little bits that we're gonna add. All in all, it's gonna be about $100,000 in concrete. It's nice that we're able to rationalize it for both staff parking, truck and trailer driving, safety, content on the drifting and the CRX side. We got some repairs going on, some of the big bumps from the go-kart sections, the thing in my driveway that I messed up. But what I'm most excited for is a little area that's gonna be right over here. I don't know how much you guys can tell in videos, but we typically drop a wheel here when we're coming around the corner this way. And we could also use it coming this way. But here we are gonna make our own Nico drop. If you guys know, Nico Circuit in Japan has a little grade on the edge of the track. Luke replicated at Archer Field Park, and it's one of my favorite feelings in the world. You go drop kind of a tire in there and it lifts the front end of the car because of what happens to the suspension. So we'll have this area will be dug out, cleared out, and we'll go probably maybe 10 feet back, about like a 10-degree grade like this, all coming on the edge. So when you're exiting here, you can link this corner more easily, and you can come through, do a big brat, and then shoot across here. It's tough. I want to like try to keep the integrity of the compound and the soul of it being kind of sketchy and narrow. So I'm trying to resist the urge of just making it too easy and making a lot of sections wider, and just adding little spaces and little areas in certain places that will make it easier to stack cars, a little safer, easier to link corners so you can be a little bit smoother and more fluid. One other big section that we've decided on is over by the main shop. There's this little grass pad that we could use for parking, or more importantly, coming around the building. Instead of having to arc this back and run on the AC line, you could run it a little narrower. So this whole thing is gonna get concreted in. This always gets run over by tractor trailers and semis since they come through here. And this corner right here is a little bit too tight for them. So you'll see it's already pretty much dug out here. So all of this is gonna be flat. At some point, I might want to experiment with adding like little raised curbstones or maybe like painting some stuff. But I think the first and simplest way to go about it is to just put the concrete in the extra areas, figure out where the lines kind of wind up, because there's gonna be so many different layouts. I'm not gonna show you guys everything because I wanna leave some elements of surprise, but there's gonna be a lot of little sections added. Not the craziest amounts, but one of the crazy things that I wanna do that I'm like on the fence about, I had them throw it in the quote, I might do it, I might not. If I can concrete this whole section behind the house, we'll have the craziest sweeper that'll go all around here, but it's gonna take a lot of work to make this so it doesn't become like a water-filled area. But imagine the footage of how cool it would look if you're like in the house, hanging out, there's like a pool or whatever, and cars just come, yeah, vroom. Or go-karts, or CRXs. For me, even though we've had the compound, we've kind of used it like a racetrack. Since we're adding intentional areas now for testing and for other fun purposes, it actually feels like fulfilling my childhood dream of building my own track. It's not a track. The amount we use it might be like once a week at most, but it's something I'm super, super excited about and stoked to share with you guys. Timeline on the concrete's actually pretty soon. I think as soon as the end of July, stuff is gonna start getting prepped, the molds are gonna get created, and then the first weeks of August, the pour is gonna happen. So come the end of August, the compound's gonna be completely different. It's still kind of torn. I think I wanna clear out this bush from around the pond. Let me know what you guys think. It doesn't really look the best, and I feel like it'd be cool to be able to see all this area, but I kind of do like that one over there because it just makes it feel a little more foresty than just having like a huge wide open area. So it'd be cool to see a nice little pretty pond in there, maybe put a fountain or something. It'd be a vibe. My friend Andrew Engelman stopping by today. We've actually had one of his cars stored here for a while that we're gonna be doing a little project on the Drift HQ channel. So I'll kind of give you guys a little teaser of what's going on with that and what you can expect to be made on the content side with it. All right, Engelman's here. You guys may have met him before. I think, did we film when I was in your GT3 in California?
Yes.
Okay.
We did some runs on the canyons and I was in the, I think we were at Neptune's Net. We were filming out there.
Yeah, and you got to outrun us in the little Lotuses, Lodi, whatever you call them, plural.
They held up pretty good. Like Chelsea was ripping when he had the, he was on my tail a little bit. Like I actually had to work for it to like keep him back there, but.
That was
yeah.
so much fun. Engelman drives professionally in Europe. What series, what car? I know it's at the Nürburgring.
NLS, Nürburgring Langstracken Series. Germans don't hate on me because that's a tough word to say, but I race for Max Cruz Racing. It's a Volkswagen TCR car. Max Cruz is he's the captain of the Berlin soccer team, and he has a racing team. So
Sick.
I race for him with a guy named Amir Asari and Benny Leutster.
So kind of like how I've been getting burnt out on drifting, just doing it nonstop and wanting to get more into track stuff. Engelman's got the opposite problem and he's trying to get into drifting. So rather than building a car, you had something that we might be able to convert into a drift car. So that's the concept for the series. Tell me a little bit about this thing.
So I bought this car in 2015. It was 80% of what it is right now. I got a little bit more clearance on the front tire. This car can fit 295 square tire setup on it. Cut a little bit more of the fender out. And really it's just been maintaining it. It went through two different motors. Car makes about 280, 290 wheel horsepower.
What is it?
Uncorked. It's an M54 block and it's got a different head and a different crank. It's kind of a Frankenstein motor. Metric Mechanic built the motor originally, and then I've had another shop, Hands of Performance, which you see on the side. They've done the last motor on it, so it gets down, it's fast.
Proper race car, you were telling me it just walks the GT3 around corners.
Yes, more technical course, it's faster than a GT3, but if you give, I mean, any straightaways, the GT3 just smokes it, but yeah, this thing makes the GT3 feel like a toy in the corners. Just slicks, aero, and this thing, it gets down. It is no joke.
It's been so cool looking at this thing in the storage. Everyone just keeps asking questions about it.
Yeah,
so.
and it does for all the track nerds. It's done a 221 with brand new slicks on it at Sebring. That's fast. A car with sub 300 horsepower shouldn't do that. So.
Engelman's also a very fast driver. Whenever we go karting, he makes me feel like I'm in a hurt cart and I just cry. So that's why I don't go karting with him anymore.
And I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to learn how to drift.
I know.
New challenges.
It'll be fun. So the whole concept for this is, what will it take to take an X race car and turn it into a drift car? Believe it or not, you can go on Racing Junk and there's a lot of race cars, rear-wheel drive stuff that are set up for track racing. Usually have good cooling mods, roll cages and stuff. So we're gonna take the car, we're gonna do some driving around the compound, get a reaction to how it is now, and then set it up, and that whole series is gonna be documented on the Drift HQ channel.
Yeah, I actually bought this on Racing Junk. So.
Oh, you bought it on Racing Junk?
Yeah, I bought it on Racing Junk. Yeah, like Adam said, it's, cage, everything you need. Like there's so much of this car is already ready for what I'm gonna do with it. It's, it's just changing the suspension geometry and getting it ready for drifting. But yeah, all the safety stuff, bushings, etc. It already has a good diff in it. It translates right over to a drift car. So yeah.
Sick. It's gonna be fun. I love how this thing sounds. It sounds like a proper race car. Finally! This car reminds me of when we're on the Nürburgring and you just see an E36 flying up you in your rear view. It doesn't matter how fast of a car you're in. Some of these E36s. Alright guys, so that's about it for this video. I wanted to get it up early to give you guys the maximum amount of time to get entered for a chance to win the Chaser. We'll be filming throughout the rest of the day, making that video for Drift HQ and a bunch of other stuff. So I will see you guys soon in the next video. Hope you like this one and I hope you have a good rest of your day.